Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. We're going a little old school today. It's a Mike's Meals, and the featured main event course is none other than fucking BJ's bag of chicken. So we'll get to see how much of this I get through. Of course, whenever you go to some type of venue like this, there's not waitress service, there's no fresh ground pepper, there's no fucking napkins. Luckily for me, I do carry napkins with me in my vehicle. Somewhere in here, I might have my own fresh ground pepper and so forth. Is there some car behind me? Not really. I even have a fork and a knife in here. Now you might be saying, gee whiz, Mike, what's a happening guy like yourself doing eating chicken from a bag on a Friday night? Well, I had a really bad sleep situation last night. I've been struggling with my sleep all year, and last night really was like a 2 sleep session. God, I guess I got this whole quarter fucking chicken. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to eat this thing. I guess I'm just gonna cut into it. It's like a gamish hen of some kind. I guess luckily I have a knife with me. I can just cut into it. The thing I've learned when I'm really hungry and I'm eating hot food or even cold food, gotta slow the speed down, because you can give yourself that acid reflux if you eat too fast. And especially if you're drinking like cold beverage and a hot meal, if you drink and you eat too fast, you're going to give yourself acid reflux situations, which are very painful. I'm drinking a room temperature Fiji water. They should be sponsoring me because I drink so much of their damn water. So Friday night, folks. Now, for those of you new to my channel, you might be saying, well, gee whiz, where's your fucking microphone? Where's your studio? I talk loud enough. You don't need a microphone. I don't need a microphone. My voice resonates. And I think of the world as my studio. So there you have it. If you want to see Mike's original films, such as The Impeccable, The Nature of the Flame, Blood Sugar Sedace, Disregard the Vampire, a Mike Messier 13 award-winning documentary, you're welcome to watch those and see higher production values. But when I'm coming to you, my brethren and my sistren, through my life, I just don't feel it's necessary for me to put on a facade that I'm walking around with a fucking studio, or if I'm Stephen A. Smith or Steven Crowder or some other Steven with a microphone. There you have it. I had a bunch of orders today from online stuff, Amazon, stuff that I really wanted to have at my fingertips by now at this point of the day. None of those things have arrived. So I kind of hate that, because I feel like if I get the email that they're there at home, I should go running back to get them. But you know me. Once I'm out in the world, I like to stay out in the world. I should have bought hand sanitizer. I didn't. Now I'm upset with myself. I don't know if I have any type of ointment. I have all these bags in my vehicle. No, I do not live out of my car. I'm in my car a lot. I'm wondering, like, I keep a nice thing of toothpaste, hair paste, body spray, cologne. It's nice. But I don't have any fucking hand ointment. So I might go a little ruffian here. I might use some good old-fashioned water to kind of give my hands a cleaning. Don't mind me. Oh my God. You feel bad when you use Fiji water. The most expensive water on earth. It's probably not the most expensive, but you remember the days, folks. Back in my day, water used to be free. Yeah, and it didn't give you a fucking cancer either, okay? So now you have to buy water. The fluoride, the fucking pesticides. I don't know if you saw that movie with Mark Ruffalo 3 or 4 years ago about the water situation. Basically, the point of the movie is, what was it, that company that made Tupperware or whatever the fuck, dinnerware, they put all these poisons into the water, and at this point, like, everybody's got it in their system, like everybody. So thanks a lot. I mean, not to get morbid, but I will. We talk about people, of course there's people out there listening to me. We talk about people getting cancer and so forth, which is horrible. And then people want to fight cancer, you know, fight cancer, fuck cancer, all that good stuff about. But it's like, you know what? How are we going to fight this thing if the water is polluted? If everything gives us cancer, how are we going to fight cancer? I'm not making light of it. I'm just simply pointing out. If all the food we eat have all these carcinogens and stuff, how are we supposed to live? Hold on a second. I'm rolling up my windows. Rolling up my windows because I just don't like that people in real life hear my online rants in real time. But these are meant to be between me and you, my loyal subscribers. Now I've noticed, to break down the fourth wall, and I hate YouTube assholes that talk about their YouTube, but I'm going to be one of those assholes, so indulge me. Slow down the pace. Got all night. Nice and slow. Chew, relax, breathe, taste the flavor. This fucking hanger in my car. I don't need that for anything. That's just taking up space. Well, I can't find my goddamn pepper. I thought I had pepper in my vehicle. I apparently don't. Unless it's just... Sometimes things get moved around to different bags, which kind of throws me. But I'm really the only person running this ship of fools, so I have no one to blame but I just dropped everything. Everything from this bag just exploded all over the place. So I fucked myself in the ass, quite frankly. No offense to asses. You might be wondering, gee whiz, Mike, you swear so much. Well, I read something somewhere that people that swear often can be trusted because they're not afraid to use the true emotions that they're feeling. So you can trust me. The other thing is I'm a pretty good swearer. Like, I sound like I know what I'm talking about when I use vulgarity. Just my ability to swear is pretty good. Pretty fucking good, they might say. So I feel like you might get used to it. The chicken is good. It's just, if I had like a heaping of mashed potatoes on the side. Now I guess the idea is this chicken is meant to be bought by some housewife or whatever the fuck who comes home with the goddamn chicken in a bag and then spends 25 minutes making green peas and mashed potatoes for their family. It's not supposed to be eaten by a singular gentleman in his vehicle making a goddamn YouTube video, but that's the situation. That's where we're at with this world. Now I've noticed I've been putting a lot of effort into these YouTube shorts lately. Little videos, 1 minute or 15-second videos. Getting some new subscribers. A lot of new subscribers have come through, but it is kind of like a what's that thing? The Roman egg or the Roman horse or the Trojan horse. Like you come in expecting this nice, pleasant guy with wrestling videos or whatever you're expecting, and suddenly you're hit with this barrage of videos, and you might be a little confused by this. And I'm going to try to walk you through it. This might be your first Mike's Meals. And you're saying, what the hell's going on here? What am I watching? I'm eating the food. I'm going to analyze the food. Like I said, I think this food would be better served, like, you know, if you had some girlfriend and she pretended to cook up a meal for you and she brought this chicken in, and like you pretended that you didn't know that it was from BJ's and you fucking told her how great it was and all that. But for me to just be using a plastic fork and knife from Jet's Pizza and just chopping into this thing, now I'm getting it a little bit because I got too upset and I've rushed things too much. So I can realize that about myself, you know. There are certain things that we all do that, like, we know we shouldn't, or be cautious because every time you do this you get fucked. Kind of like people who have like food allergies, you know. Oh, don't eat that fucking cake because you're allergic to icing. Oh, I'll just have a little piece, and then you break into hives. So I'm kind of like that when I really haven't eaten a proper meal all day. I get excited to eat, I'm hungry, and then I rush things. I give myself pain, and then I can't eat anything. I'm just sitting there like an asshole. Now, the great thing about my YouTube channel is if you stick around long enough, you learn little hints about life. So for months, people have been telling me, oh, you've got to join BJ's. Oh, you've got to join BJ's. Oh, you've got to join BJ's. Okay, why? Well, you can save so much money on gas, and you can buy 50 pieces of fucking air conditioner lint, de-linter machine stuff for $5. You can buy a bunch of Oreo cookies for 20 cents. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to investigate this situation. For some reason, I thought BJ's membership cost like 20 bucks a year, but apparently it's not the case. The going rate is 55. Okay, but wait. I have tricks where if I'm about to buy something online, and I bought my membership through the phone, I've learned that in the last couple of years, pretty much anytime you buy anything, it's better to buy it online, like a membership or fucking anything. And that really goes against my grain, because I'm very much, at least I used to be, an in-person type of guy. But nowadays, everything is just cheaper if you just order it online. And what can you do? I mean, it's not, I don't particularly like that, but I like saving the money. So with this situation, I get to this fucking BJ's. I really just wanted to get gas in my vehicle, so I figured I'd buy the membership and then give this thing a shot. Then I see that it's 55 bucks, and then I start doing the math. Am I really going to be saving any money on gas by paying a $55 premium? And then I say to myself, Mike, look, do your thing. Look online. So I have my phone that we're using now for this video, and I fucking dig around, and I'm looking for promo codes for BJ's. And very simple. You put BJ's membership promo code 2023, January 2023. And you get, if you've ever done this, you get the usual suspects, the coupon websites, the this, the that. Well, all these coupon websites weren't doing a hill of shit for me. They were all coming back 55 bucks for the membership, so I wasn't saving anything. And then I finally got to some website called like The Farmer's Daughter or something like that. I don't know if it's like an offshoot of the Farmer's Almanac. And I never seen this website before that I can remember, but I did take a leap of faith that it wasn't a scam or some type of crap. Hopefully it wasn't. If you know that it was, leave a comment or whatever and I'll call the authorities. But basically the shtick was $30 for a BJ's membership, and then we'll give you $30 in coupons 4 months into your membership or some such thing. So I'm looking at it, and then the fucking website was a .com. It wasn't one of those weird dot whatever the fucks. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is legit. So I went through the process, and here we are. I say all that to say, if you're going to buy stuff online a lot like I do, you can really just save a lot of money a lot of times by just putting 5 minutes in. I put at the most 10 minutes in to these searches. If I haven't found a coupon code or a promo code, usually 5 minutes is my cutoff. But if it's something like this, I'll put a little more time in. And I feel like I'm getting I'm not screwing myself. Chicken's pretty goddamn good. It's an herbal chicken of sorts. Herb, lemon herb or some such thing. So this is kind of fun. Now this is really throwing off my game plan. I had like planned to do this, then I was going to go to fucking Chick-fil-A, get a spicy chicken sandwich, then I was going to do this, and like all these things, and then I realized I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's not Miami, it's not Hollywood, California, but on a Friday night there's a pretty substantial amount of traffic here. People here are very bad drivers. The streets here are great. The roads, they're very easy to drive, easy to navigate, but I think just a lot of people in Jacksonville text and drive and talk on the phone and drive, because every fucking day that I'm here I see a car accident. You just gotta eat it slow. I mean, that's the lesson. Just eat the fucking chicken slow. Yeah, there's a lot of car accidents in this town, and it can be very frustrating because you're like, am I gonna die? What's happening? And, you know, I don't know what to do, because it's also like, this is a town where you more or less need a car to exist. I guess you could exist without one. It's possible, but the public transportation is not the best around here. So if you want to have a fully functioning life, you more or less need an automobile here. That's just the reality of the situation. I do like Jacksonville. It's a big spread out city. The locals will tell you this with glee. It's geographically the biggest city in the United States. Did you hear the key word, geographically? I did not say by population. I'm sure cities like Houston, Texas, and Dallas, Texas, and LA and New York City have us beat for person per square foot. But who the hell cares about that? For me, folks, and this, I don't know if this pertains to you or not, but everyone's always said to me, Mike, you're so goddamn talented, you're so goddamn wonderful, your screenwriting abilities, your acting, your film acting, your stage acting, your sparkling personality, your hosting of Messier Mantra. Why in the world aren't you living in Los Angeles or New York City? And my response is something like this. I could see myself living in Los Angeles. I have been there several times. I do like it. You can watch my Rejected by Reality documentary about when HBO flew me out on their dime to come to Los Angeles for a pilot that was produced in part by R.J. Cutler and Jay Roach. Jay Roach you may know from Austin Powers and Meet the Parents, among other accolades. But long story short, you know, LA requires a lot of fucking money, and there's also a lot of traffic there. If you saw the first 10 minutes of the movie La La Land, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, and they have that big scene where everybody's stuck in traffic and they're singing a song, it really is like that. The traffic is really bad. The pollution, although I haven't really experienced it when I've been there, but the pollution is bad in LA and Hollywood, Santa Monica. Maybe not as much as Santa Monica, but basically the heart of LA, where all the action is, traffic and fucking pollution. So beyond that, I like it. Here's a kind of an evil thing. I used to live in New England for a long time, and there was some considerations there. Did not want to be there forever, but I kind of was. So today I'm on Yahoo, and there's a headline. They always make you click, because the headline says 15 states brace for Arctic freeze weather conditions. And so I see that, and I'm immediately thinking, is this going to affect New England, New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut? And I'm going to be totally honest with you. A part of me was like, I hope it does, because that's like more reinforcement that I made the right move in moving to Florida out of New England. If in fact they're going to suffer through this horrible cold, which also means my friends and family would be suffering through the horrible cold. But there's a certain vindication, a certain validation. Every time I see bad weather in some place like New England where I've left, I feel good about the fact that I left. Now, is that the sign of a sociopath or whatever? Maybe. But I'm just saying, I get a certain feeling of joy knowing that I did something that was proven to be accurate, proven to be correct. And maybe that makes me a horrible goddamn person. I don't know. I'll have to look on Wikipedia and look at myself on Wikipedia to discover if I'm a nice guy or not. I do feel like I'm getting some protein out of this situation. I have protein powders. I have fucking, you know what I mean? I don't eat enough vegetables. Who does? I have been eating these little salads recently. Like those pre-made salads. You know what I mean? The spinach Dijon one and so forth. Then they have like the little half fork in there. One of my rules of life is that food always tastes better when somebody else makes it for you. And I stand by that as well. Because, like, if you've got to put the fucking effort in and, like, throw away the paper plates or wash the dishes or whatever, it's a lot of work. So it's easier just to buy stuff. I don't like all these fucking... I don't understand this whole fad or trend or phenomena of, like, these fresh meal kits and so forth. I don't quite get the benefit, because you still have to cook the fucking food, and they're just bringing you groceries. I don't get it. I don't see the fucking point of it. You gotta be careful not to bite into a bone. Eating chicken's kind of a weird thing, because you're driving around, you see all these birds, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna eat your cousin. Sorry. So for pro wrestling fans, you might be saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, I saw your Chris Jericho video, and I figured I'd come here and see some wrestling stuff, and now you're just talking about chicken for 25 minutes. Well, the point of the matter is this. I will be going to AEW Dark tomorrow. I have booked myself to be in the audience for 2 AEW tapings at Universal Studio. I'm looking forward to it. I will be missing the Royal Rumble in live time. It's really going to be a test for me if I can, because I've gone to one AEW taping before, and I just was there for one block of taping. It was basically 4 hours of squash matches, and by the end of it, I was so exhausted. And now I'm signed up for 2 of these things in the same day. So I've got 8 hours of squash matches to watch tomorrow in person. So I don't know. And I guess I have to get there early because you're not guaranteed a seat or whatever the fuck. You have to get there early. The last time I went, I couldn't find the venue for about an hour. I was walking around Universal Studios trying to find this place, and nobody there knew that TNA Wrestling had a show, or not even TNA, AEW Wrestling had a show there. So what can you do? Chicken is quite tasty. Interesting. It's got like some red rope around it. I guess that's like what was holding the thing together. I know some people like just grab the chicken and just fucking eat it right off the bone. I'm trying to be a little more dignified than that. So, I just don't want to seem like a fucking Viking. Chicken's good. I saw some video on YouTube. I would give the fucker credit, but I forgot what his channel was. But basically, he was talking about the show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Apparently, their first, I guess, 3 or 4 seasons were in standard def, 4:3. And then in 2006, they switched over to, I think it's the 16:9 format that we're pretty much watching everything on these days in HDTV. And apparently one of the cast members or creative partners on the show, and I haven't seen all the episodes, so I don't know the characters' names, but the guy was like, no, we should stick with 4:3 because that's better for our show. And they basically shot him down and they went to 16:9. So this whole thing caused this whole video where this gentleman who made the video was talking about certain sitcoms, such as Seinfeld, have been adapted into the 16:9 frame ratio format from 4:3, and that it doesn't always turn out for the better. And I was like, oh shit, I never thought about this. And then I said, well, I'm like, I'll go to Peacock and I'll watch Seinfeld. Well, apparently Peacock does not have Seinfeld. It's on Netflix, I believe. So I go to Netflix and I'm watching Seinfeld, and yes, they've adapted all these old sitcoms from the early 90s of Seinfeld into 16:9. And once you've learned this, you see what the guy was talking about. Like, the characters are they're like far apart from each other, and it just doesn't feel right. It's like, the cool thing with Seinfeld and most sitcoms is all the characters are right in each other's face. You have all the characters are kind of framed like bang, bang, bang. And with this fucking Seinfeld, now that we've warped the fucking image, it's like Jerry's over here, fucking, George Costanza's way over here. The intimacy level is gone to hell. And, once I saw it, I was like, God, this is god awful. Similarly, and I've brought this up a few times, Peacock does something where their sensibilities are kind of offended by some of the WWE historical footage. And the biggest example I always go to is Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 6 doing a makeup routine, trying to make a point about racial equality, but it kind of fell flat. It didn't really work at the time, and it still doesn't work. But rather than just have a laugh about it, Peacock goes ahead and they take the whole match off the show. So if you go to WrestleMania 6 on Peacock, the last time I checked, you will not be seeing Roddy Piper versus Bad News Brown. Because someone at Peacock is offended by something that happened in a fucking wrestling match in 1990. So you can say, well, gee whiz, the Ultimate Warrior was on that show, a person that I looked up to, and he was kind of a controversial guy later in his life, and he said some things that people don't like, and blah, blah, blah. So why don't you just edit off the Ultimate Warrior match from WrestleMania 6? Well, that would be the fucking main event. My point, gentlemen and ladies, is history has warts. History has problems. History has bad things. Racism, misogyny, sexism, nationalism, hatred. But if you're trying to present history, you have to present it flaws and all, warts and all, controversies and all. The oldest expression going, or one of them, is those that do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So if we can't watch this Roddy Piper match and learn from it, maybe some other person will do something like this. What about, was it Jimmy Kimmel? Not Jimmy Fallon on Saturday Night Live wearing the blackface to play his buddy Chris Rock? Now, at the time, nobody gave a flying shit, but 22 years later, people do. Well, should SNL, Saturday Night Live, go back and remove that skit from the episode? I don't know. Maybe they have. I haven't inquired into that. It's just one of those things. There's a lot of things that have been, Amos and Andy god awful, but do you just keep it around and look at it and discuss it, or do you try to eliminate these things? And I'm kind of on the side of not eliminating things, just because I feel like it's better to have an adult conversation about it, disclaimers if you have to, but to try and pretend that things that happened didn't happen is a surefire way for those things to happen again. And the idiots and the assholes and the censors of this god-awful world never seem to understand that, now do they? So there you fucking have it, folks. So it's just a wonderful Friday night. You're spending your time watching a gentleman eat chicken in his car and drink an occasional sip of Fiji water. God. If I had like a pet dog or something, I'd throw him this chicken. You know what I mean? But I don't have a pet dog on me. So that's it. So folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I guess my big excitement is I'm going to go buy gas for myself. I've got a BJ's membership now. I paid $30 instead of $55. I'm supposed to get a $30 credit, thanks to the farmer's daughter or whatever the fuck. It's probably one of those deals where I should cancel the membership at the end of the year, because they'll probably whack me with full price for next year. You gotta be careful of that, people. These things that give you like an opening introductory offer, but then you find out if you don't cancel, you get fucked on the second payment. So I'm sure you've been through that. I've been canceling a lot of things lately. A lot of like annual memberships, mostly from online websites and streaming channels, just because there really is not enough time to partake in all this stuff. I have, for those of you that are new, MikeMessier.com. Scroll to the bottom of any page on my website and see my wonderful books. And I'm starting another creative endeavor. I'll hold off on that. So folks, have a great weekend. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. I guess what I was going to get to this whole time was I've seen about 40 new subscribers in the last week, and I really appreciate that. I've also seen the number kind of go up to a peak and then drop down a little bit. And I'm not offended. I just know that some people, I'm hooking some people in with the wrestling or whatever I'm hooking them in with. And then they kind of look around and it's not for them. And that's okay. I'm not offended. You know, if there's the 57 flavors on the television, you don't have to eat them all at once. So if these rants, this aggression is not good for you, if you just want to watch people dance like Wednesday Addams, go ahead. I mean, I can't control everybody's opinion on what they find entertaining or who they want to spend their precious time with. I just feel that I have a million potential subscribers in the world, and it's just up to me to find them. So right now we're at like 1,480. D-Back's been here. A lot of people, Shane McKenna, you know, my buddy from New York there. A lot of people have been supportive. Some people have kind of not said anything in a while. One of my wrestling buddies used to check in, my deathmatch wrestling friend. He hasn't checked in a while. But Mistress Jen, I'm not sure what happened to her. She used to be a big commenter. I do interactive videos, so if you happen to be watching and you see Mike's interactive video, that's when I'm live, and that's when you can comment in real time. And yeah, that's it. And any questions, comments, queries, or suggestions for future videos, leave them down below. As far as this food review, I do wish I had a serving of mashed potatoes. I do wish I had some green beans or collard greens or some type of vegetable. But at the same time, I do feel like this was a more productive eating session than me going to fucking goddamn fucking Chick-fil-A on a Friday night and waiting in line for half an hour with the masses. Okay, folks, I'm gonna buy gas. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back for more stuff. Mike Messier.